right, Bruchim Aboyim, welcome everybody. Very excited. Is this thing on? Bruchim Aboyim, welcome everybody. Very excited. A dear friend of ours, Dr. Green, asked to sponsor.
In 800 feet, turn right onto Wade Road.
Asked to sponsor a video in honor of his birthday. And
Take the next right onto Wade Road.
That's a present for me for his birthday, Although I guess it's a mutual, a mutual gift that we share with each other. That
continue for 2 miles.
We share Torah with each other, and he's sponsoring Torah to Ostbreiten, as Yisachar and Zvulun. And Dr. Green asked, very interesting for his 40th birthday, what is that I should make a shiur discussing the relevance of Kabbalah to Jewish study and Jewish life, how central it is, as well as kind of by extension Hasidus and Musar. So, to discuss this, I felt that the best place to turn was somewhat ironically the Rambam Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah. Because on one hand, the Rambam is known as the great rationalist, the anti-mystic, the anti-Kabbalist. And yet, let's see what he says. Kol advarim ha'elu shedibarnu be'inyan zeh kamar delihem. Rambam discussed many philosophical ideas there. And he said all these things that we've discussed are just like a drop in the bucket. Udvarim amukim, and they're very deep things. Aval enam ki'inyan oimek Parakrishan Visheni. But they're not as deep as the first and second chapters of what we discussed earlier in the Hilchos Yesodei HaTorah. Uver kol elu hadvarim shebeparak shlishi reviu hu nikra Maaseh Bereishis. So he said all of these things that we discussed in the third and fourth chapter are called the work of creation. Kach tzivu hachachamim rishonim she'ein darshan b'dvarim ha'elu b'rabim la'adam echad ma'diyim dvarim elu m'lavnin oisam. And the sages, the earlier sages, already in the Mishnah, said that we don't publicly expound on these things. Rather, we introduce them, we teach them to an individual, and we teach them. And then the Rambam asks in the next halacha, Uma bein inyan Maaseh Bereishis. What's the difference between the concept of what's called Maaseh Bereishis, the work of the chariot, and Maaseh Bereishis, the work of creation? She'inyan Maaseh Bereishis afila echad ein darshan. The concept called Maaseh Bereishis, the work of the chariot, you don't even teach to an individual. In
1,000 feet, turn left to stay on Valley Road.
Unless he is wise and understanding on his own. Hold on. Sorry. And all you give over in Maaseh Bereishis,
take the next left to stay on Valley Road,
are the chapter headings. You give those over, and then the person who is understanding on his own
continue on Valley Road for 1 mile.
Will figure it out. In Maaseh Bereishis, the concept of the work of creation, you can give over to an individual Af al pi sheina meven oisay midaitay medin oisay kol mashiachal leida mitvar ma'ilu. So when it comes to the work of creation, you can explain it even to someone who doesn't fully understand it, and you let him know all that he is able to know from these things. Lama ein malam denoisay l'rabim, and why are these not expounded publicly? Lefisha ein kol adam yesh lo yid'as rechov lasig perish uveir kol dvarim al buryan. He says this because not every person has the knowledge, the width of knowledge to grasp the explanation and commentary of all of these things in according to their total clarity. And then the Rambam says, at the time when a person meditates on these things, and he recognizes all of the creatures that God created, whether an angel and the galaxies and the human beings and everything similar like that, and he sees his wisdom, and he sees the when he sees God's wisdom, he recognizes in all the forms and all the creatures.
In 800 feet, turn right onto Chestnut Ridge Road.
This causes us to add to our love of God. In his soul,
take the next right onto Chestnut Ridge Road.
Thirsts, and his flesh longs, to love God. May he be blessed.
Continue on Chestnut Ridge Road for half a mile.
But not only that, he is afraid and in fear and in awe when he recognizes his own lowliness and spiritual poverty and lightness. Especially even if he compares himself to one of the holy bodies, the great holy bodies, the angels, or the celestial bodies. And certainly when he compares himself to one of the forms, the pure forms that are separate.
In 1,000 feet, turn left to stay on Chestnut Ridge Road.
From the bodies, from the physical forms, that are not formed into any physical clod at all, any physical form. Called a golem, but it doesn't mean a monster. It means v'yimsa, and you find.
Take the next left to stay on Chestnut Ridge Road.
Atzmai shehu kichli mali busho chlima reik v'chaser, and he finds himself. This is similar to.
Continue on Chestnut Ridge Road for 4 miles.
You have to excuse me that I'm listening to the. I'm in a place I've never been before, and it's a big deal that we're learning Torah while I'm traveling. I'm being malon tzoitzis in a place like this. So he's quoting from the Yom Kippur liturgy, right? That he finds himself like a vessel that is filled, a container that is filled with shame and embarrassment, and that he's empty and missing. It's interesting because are you full or are you empty? Right? And it's kind of both. So let's go weiter. Really, we see in this all the inyanim of both Hasidus and Musar and Kabbalah all combined in this Rambam. So when it comes to these 4 chapters where we discuss these 5 commandments of loving God and fearing God and knowing God exists and so forth, very interestingly, the Rambam